the American Recut, a spoiler-free review show where I, Nick,
and I, Brendan, dissect films and television to save you from atrocious media.
In 2019's adaptation of Garth Ennis's The Boys, a group of vigilantes set out to take down corrupt superheroes who abuse their superpowers, created by Eric Kripke.
The band is back together in this Amazon Prime adaptation, The Boys.
The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town.
God bless you, Beastie Boys. Yes, so this is indeed yet another comic book adaptation made into a TV series.
It is another one, but it's got some things it's doing differently here and there. It's got its moments that work really well for it.
So without going into spoilers, let's talk about the story.
Alright, the story here is more interesting than a lot of adaptations would typically be for comic book stories in general. That's probably due to the influence of the original comic of Garth Ennis, and a lot due to a lot of rewrites that turn the original comic into something that's much more palatable. It works much better as a standalone story series. In general, a lot of things where they were very clearly being edgy for edgy's sake were toned down or completely rewritten in ways that are overall improvements on the source material.
And it is a very good concept. It is a very good... Would you call it a satirical piece?
Oh, yeah. Garth Ennis is basically his entire library. It is all satirical pieces, or it's supposed to be like lampooning popular aspects of things. In particular, this one was a comic series from the 2001-2006 era, so it was very much the Bush anger era for a lot of underground comics.
Ooh, okay. Fascinating.
Which is where a lot of stuff in this comic would come from, but a lot of that got updated, or a lot of it got changed. And the changes, for the most part, are for the better. But since it is updated and changed in a few places, it's a story where I feel like if you go in not expecting like the next coming of Christ, it's pretty good. But if you're expecting like next Breaking Bad or the next The Sopranos, it's not going to live up to that height.
I imagine not, because The Sopranos and Breaking Bad had really big shoes to fill.
Right.
Okay, so in terms of characters, we are treated to a unique gaggle of characters outside of the superheroes that are kind of the antagonistic force in this series.
Not kind of, they are the antagonists through and through. The characters are good though. They have really good, solid motivation. They consistently have something to do for themselves. And generally, almost none of the characters feel shoehorned in. There's one or two that feel a little bit iffy, especially with the rewrites, but we'll get into that later.
Okay. Effects. Pretty damn good.
They're good. They're good. This is not like the bottom of the barrel CW style effects for their superhero shows. This is at least on par with a lot of the Netflix shows for how they use superpowers, how they show them.
Agreed.
Overall, it feels like Amazon did throw a lot of money at this show. For the costume design, for the special effects especially. A lot of money went into this movie.
It definitely feels like it, yeah.
And it shows.
Yeah, it does. Themes.
There's
notions of power.
There's themes of like corporatism, kind of questioning superhero culture, the superhero burnout, what have you. But overall, I think themes work well enough for this show.
They do.
They don't get explored to quite satisfaction, but they get brought up and explored enough to where you're not left feeling like they completely ignored it.
Right. That's a good point. No, they don't hammer it, but they do kind of announce it. And I don't know, would you recommend seeing this?
I would. I would ultimately recommend it. I'm not going to say it's incredible, but I will say that it's perfectly good. It's fun. It's a fun concept. You'll probably enjoy it while you're watching it.
I would recommend it as well. It's definitely a unique perspective on superhero culture. It's definitely entertaining. It is on Amazon Prime. If you are ever so inclined to get a subscription for it, I recommend that being your first selection to watch.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on Amazon Prime here and there, and The Boys is one of them.
Now, how about the book? Would you recommend reading the book?
No, the comics suck.
Well, there you have it.
It's edgy garbage.
All right, well, you heard it from here, folks. Watch the series. Don't read the books. And we will see you at the Ramble On.